Now we will take that of the you can say perineum. Now what is the perineum? In order to understand the perineum, one must know few things regarding what is said to be as the pelvic diaphragm. Now that pelvic diaphragm, what is it and how it has to be dealt? So pelvic diaphragm, pelvic diaphragm, pelvic diaphragm. In order to understand perineum, one must know about the word pelvic diaphragm. But to go to the word that of the pelvic diaphragm, you should know how that pelvis is formed, rather articulated pelvis. The pelvis is formed by the what union of one hip bone to the what another hip bone, keeping in front the pubic symphysis, which is formed by the articulation of the medial surface of the body part of the what pubis to the other medial surface of the body part of the pubis to form the pubic symphysis. Behind and the lateral it is formed by the what that of the bone ileum, which will be going to articulate with the what lateral aspect of that of the sacrum to form the sacroiliac joint on either side. So like this way the whole pelvis is formed, not only in the male but also in the female. Now this perineum is the one which will be present at the what that of the you can say outlet of the pelvis, and is present in between the two thighs. So perineum is the pelvic outlet which is present in between the thighs in the male and as well as in the females. So this you can say, as being it is a perineum is the pelvic outlet. How that pelvic outlet is formed? Pelvic outlet is formed by the water that of the pelvic diaphragm. Now that pelvic diaphragm will be having some muscles. Now those muscles are the what is said to be as, first is the piriformis. Piriformis. Now second is the water that of the where you can say sphincter urethrae. Sphincter urethrae. Third is the water sphincter ani. Fourth is the water obturator internus. Fifth is the levator ani. Sixth will be iliococcygenius. Seventh, sacrococcygenius. Then eighth, coccygenius muscle with ischio-cavernous and bulbous spongiolus. Then you have one more muscle. That muscle is superficial, transverse and deep transverse perineal muscles. is said to be as a pelvic diaphragm after uniting with the other side on the water median plane, known as, it will be going to form as a perineal raphe. Perineal raphe. Perineal raphe is a raphe which is a whitish, non-elastic central part which will be there from the water lower part of the pubic symphysis entirely to the water tip of the coccyx. That is formed by the union of all these pelvic diaphragm forming muscles. So this will be there. Now, after having had this, now this is what is said to be as the pubic symphysis. In a sagittal section, how that perineum looks. This is the genital orifice. This will be the what? Anal orifice. This is the tip of the coccyx. This is what is said to be the sacrum. So this is a what a sagittal section of showing the perineum in case of male. Now, in case of male only, there will be a what that of this is the pubic symphysis or the pubic angle. Pubic angle. This is the pubic symphysis. This is the pubic symphysis. Then you will be having, this is what is said to be as a lower border of inferior ramus of the pubis. This is also the lower border of the inferior ramus of the pubis. This is what the adjoining point of ramus of the ischium. This is the ischial tuberosity, and this will be what the tip of the coccyx. Now this view, it is in case of male, and these two on either side, sacrotuberous ligament and the sacrospinous ligament, and the lower border of that of the gluteus magnum. So this is what? Sacrotuberous ligament. This is what the sacrospinous ligament. This is the lower border of gluteus maximus. This is the ischial spine, I mean to say tip of the coccyx. This is the ischial tuberosity, and these are the what lower border of inferior ramus of pubis. This is the lower border of ramus of ischium. This is in case of male both. Now you will be having sagittal section of the water, that of the perineum in case of female. So this is the pubic symphysis. This is the lower border, this is the lower part of the anterior abdominal wall. This is what the urinary orifice. This is the genital orifice. This will be the what anal orifice. This will be the what tip of the coccyx. This is what is said to be as the sacrum. This is what the lower part of that of lumbar vertebrae 5, lumbar vertebrae 4. So this will be the lumbar vertebrae 4. This will be the lumbar vertebrae 5. This is what the sacrum. Now, in case of the what female, now when you will be viewing from the what that of the lithotomy position, rather it is the sectional view of perineum which will be there in case of the what male and female both equal. So this is what the pubic angle, this is what the pubic symphysis, this is the lower border of that of the inferior ramus of the pubis, this is what is said to be as the lower border of the ramus of the ischium, this is what the ischial tuberosity, this is what the tip of the coccyx, This is what is said to be as a sacrotuberous ligament, sacrospinous ligament. This is the lower border of gluteus maximus on either side. So this will be the thing how it looks. So this thing is a what weaving of that of the perineum from below upward, or rather what we can say as a what coronal section of the what that of the you can say perineum in both male and female. So you will be going to have now here, this is what is said to be as a PD, means pelvic diaphragm. This is what all is called as a PD, pelvic diaphragm. Now that pelvic diaphragm is not a simple, but it is a fusion of all those muscles which will be there serially of what that of the, or you can say somewhat 11 or 12 muscles are going to fuse of one side with the what another, forming a what, this is the perineal wrap in male and in female. So this is what the things. Now here you have got the sagittal section of the what, that of the you can say perineum in male, in female. Now these schematic diagrams indicates the coronal section or the perineum which you can view it from below upward, that is in the lithotomy positions. Now when you see that perineum like this manner, so you should know that already that perineum is nothing but it is the what pelvic outlet. In this perineum, all the you can say pelvic viscera in male and in female, they open to the what external, to the what environment. So that is what the thing, main purpose. Now here perineum is a what, it is a space between the thighs, and it is nothing but it is present at the what pelvic outlet which you have already got into this. Now here pelvic diaphragm, this which will be the fusion of all these, which will be seeing it here with the schematic linear diagrams. For the purpose of explanation, this you can say perineum is dividing into two parts by means of one line. That line is called as a transischial line. Now what is the transischial line? But before going for the what transischial line, how this you can say perineum boundaries. The perineum boundaries in front, in both, in sagittal and in the coronal section, inferior border of that of the you can say pubic symphysis, or the what that of the pubic angle in both male and in female. This is what the anterior and upper limit. Now laterally on either side, it is limited by the lower border of inferior ramus of the water, that of the pubis. Then it is also limited by the water, that of the, where you can say lower border of ramus of the ischium and the adjoining points. Behind in the median plane, it is limited by, that is behind and little above, limited by the water tip of the coccyx. Behind and laterally on either side, it is limited by the sacrotuberous ligament and the what sacrospinous ligament in male and in female. Apart from that, there will be a what one border of the water, that of the muscle. That muscle is called the gluteus maximus. Now laterally on either side, it is limited by the medial surface of ischial tuberosity. Apart from that, it is also limited by laterally on either side the water, that of the one canal. That canal is called as the pudendal canal, through which internal pudendal artery, internal pudendal vein and the internal pudendal nerve with the lymph vessels pass through, and it forms the water, that of the, where you can say lateral limit of this particular a fossa which is present in between the what lateral surface of the rectum and the medial surface of the ischial tuberosity, known as the ischiorectal fossa. So this will be the thing here. Then this here you can say space. When you have seen this space is just, you can say it will be then a diamond like. One inverted triangle will be putting on the another triangle. So like that way it will be appearing. So it is a diamond in shape. Now this perineum, above it is limited by, the superior layer of that of the, you can say, pelvic diaphragm. This is what the superior layer of the pelvic diaphragm. This is the superior layer of the pelvic diaphragm. Superior layer of pelvic diaphragm. This is the superior layer. Superior layer of pelvic diaphragm. Above it is limited by that. Now below it is limited by. One more you can say layer. That layer is called as inferior layer of the water that of the pelvic diaphragm. This is the inferior layer of pelvic diaphragm. So this is the inferior layer of pelvic diaphragm. So this is the inferior layer of pelvic diaphragm. So this inferior layer of pelvic diaphragm is also called as perineal membrane. If it is the central tendon, I mean to say, here you can say inferior layer of the pelvic diaphragm is called as the perineum. So thereby this thing is called as central tendon. Central tendon of the perineal membrane, which is fusion of the pelvic diaphragm forming muscles, extending from pubic angle to the what ischial, means the tip of the coccyx. So this will be the thing. Now this you can say perineum, which is diamond in shape, divided by means of the what, two triangles, by means of the what, that of the trans-ischial line or a plane. This is called as the trans-ischial line. It is an imaginary line. Now this imaginary line is nothing but it is a union of anterior end of that of the, you can say, ischial tuberosity of one side to the what, anterior end of the other side ischial tuberosity. This is called as the trans-ischial line or a trans-ischial plane. Now this trans-ischial plane internally in both male and female, internally, it will be going to corresponds to trans-ischial plane, corresponds to the superficial and deep transverse perineal muscles. And deep transverse perineal muscles. So now you will be going to get the what? Totally a what? Two triangle. That is one in front and above to this trans-ischial line, and another triangular space which will be present just, you can say, behind and above to this trans-ischial line. So the one which will be there in front, this, I mean to say here, this, here, this is the in front. This triangle is called the urogenital triangle in male. So this will be going to call it as now urogenital urinary triangle and genital triangle in female. Urogenital triangle in male and urogenital triangle in female. But behind and above, what it will be there, to this you can say transitional line. Now what will be there, this? This will be said to be as a what? Anal triangle. Anal triangle. Now why it is named so? These are named so because in the water that of the male, in this urogenital triangle, urinary and the water genital together opens. But in case of the water female, in the urogenital triangle, urinary separate and the genital separate, they will be going to get open. While in both, in the water that is the anal triangle, in male and in female, only the anal orifice via the anal, means anal canal, opens into the water that of the external air, forming a what? Anal orifice in male and in female common. That will be the water in the anal. Hence the name. So with having this idea, now let us deal about the what? First this. What is said to be as a urogenital triangle? Urogenital triangle in front means in front and above, it is limited by the pubic angle, which is present at the lower part of the pubic symphysis. Laterally on either side means anterolaterally, laterally, and on either side, in front. That is what is said to be the lower border of inferior ramus of the pubis and lower border of the ramus of the ischium and the adjoining point. In male as well as in the female. But what happens laterally on either side? Laterally on either side in the both male and in female, it is limited by anterior end of the ischial tuberosity. Then behind, in male and in the female, it is limited by or it is guarded by a transischial line which is internally related to the superficial transverse perineal muscle and the deep transverse perineal muscles. Now this superficial and the transverse perineal muscles, they are fused with each other. Apart from that, here it is a fusion of the water that of the, you can say, superficial perineal space to that of the deep perineal space. Now, superiorly, the water urogenital triangle in male and in female is limited by superior layer of pelvic diaphragm in the what? Urogenital region. Below it is limited by the what? Entirely the skin and the superficial fascia. This is the skin and the what? That of the superficial fascia. The superficial fascia is nothing but it is the extension of fatty layer of superficial fascia of abdomen in the what? Anterior median plane after crossing pubic symphysis. So this will be the thing, inferior limit of urogenital triangle in male and in the female. Now, like this way, this will be the what? Urogenital region has been formed. about this, you can say urogenital triangle. Urogenital triangle. For the purpose of explanation, it will be dividing into. It will be dividing into superficial perineal space and the what? Deep perineal space. Now the question, let us will deal about the what? The boundaries of the water, that of the urine, you can say superficial perineal space. The superficial perineal space is a space which is present in both male and in the female. In the front, it is limited by inferior part of that of the, you can say, pubic symphysis or the pubic angle. Now anteriorly on either side or anterolaterally on either side, it is limited by lower border of ramus of the inferior ramus of the pubis and the what lower border of the ramus of the ischium, where it will be going to get adjoined to each other. At this point in the male, it is not that much elevated, but in case of female, now where it will be adjoining, it will be going to get averted, this bony thing. Then laterally on either side, it is also related to anterior end of the water, that of the ischial tuberosity. Now behind it is limited by a transischial line, a line which is drawn from one ischial tuberosity anterior end to the water, another anterior end of the water ischial tuberosity of the other side. It is an imaginary line. Now to this line there are the what muscles? Those are called the superficial transverse perineal muscle and the deep transverse perineal muscle. Apart from that, the superficial perineal space is fusing with the deep perineal space. The deep perineal space. So this will be the thing. Now this superficial perineal space, below it is limited by skin. That is the skin of the water, that of the penis, and the screen of the water, that of the scrotum, penis, and the water scrotum. Then the superficial fascia of the water, that of the scrotum, superficial fascia of the water, that of the penis, in male. This is the inferior limit of superficial perineal space. But in case of female, it is limited by the skin of the water, that of the clitoris, or rather glans clitoridalis, and the water skin of the water, that of the labia major. Apart from that, inferiorly it is limited by the superficial fascia of glans clitoridalis and the superficial fascia of the water labia major. This is the inferior limit of superficial perineal space in female, male and female. Now, what is the superior limit? Superior limit of the water, that of the superficial perineal space in male. It is nothing but the what inferior layer of the pelvic diaphragm, which is restricted to urogenital region. So it is called as inferior layer of urogenital diaphragm. The same thing in case of the female. What if this will be there? It is nothing but inferior layer of pelvic diaphragm in urogenital region in case of female. So this is the superior limit. Now, this is what? Now you will be going to get, what is said to be as a, this one, deep perineal space. Now deep perineal space, which is the second space, perineal space. The deep perineal space is present deep to superficial perineal space in the urogenital region of the water, that of the perineum. Now, anterior and above limit, it is formed by the lower part of the pubic symphysis and the water, that of the pubic angle. Anterolaterally, on either side, it is limited by lower border of inferior ramus of the pubis, lower border of ramus of the ischium, and the adjoining point of this ramen. In case of male, it is not that averted, but in case of female, it is averted. Apart from that, small anterior part of ischial tuberosity. Behind, it is limited by a transischial line, the one which will be deeply related to superficial and deep transverse perineal muscle. Apart from that, the deep perineal space is fused with superficial perineal space. Now, what you will be going to get inferiorly? Inferiorly, it is limited or guarded by skin of the water, that of the penis, superficial tissue of the penis. In case of male, apart from that, content of the water, that of the superficial perineal space. In case of male. Now, in case of female, inferiorly it is limited by skin of the glans clitoris, skin of the water, that of the labia, superficial fascia of the water, that of the glans clitoris, and the superficial fascia of the water, that of the labia majors, and the content of superficial perineal space in female. Apart from that, in both the sexes, the inferior layer of deep pelvic diaphragm